welcome to our first ASU podcast today.
Woo, yeah.
Today we'll be talking about topics such as mental health and our personal well-being experiences. And today I have a very special guest with me, the one and only Henry Lai. Hi Henry, how are you
Woo. I'm chilling out. I could be better, but life goes on. We're chilling. Planning on taking a nap, but have to do things like this.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I want to take a nap as well, but it's been pretty stressful with all the assignments picking up for classes and stuff like that. So following on with that, with finals coming up, how are you doing mentally and just overall?
I mean, honestly, I'm a pretty relaxed person. I don't stress that often. Yes, the workload is crazy. Yes, I'm exhausted and everything, but come a given time, you just become more self-aware of how to take care of yourself and how to deal with certain things, and you know when to stress and when not to let things get to you. So even with finals in 2 months from now? 2 months?
Finals? In a month.
Oh my god, I almost failed.
I think less than a month. Less than a month.
No, but okay, then with finals less than a month, I'm like, wow, I almost failed all my classes. But with all that around the corner, even then, I'm not too worried because it's just, I'm gonna deal with it when I need to deal with it. I'll get it done one way or another, but it's just a matter of knowing how to take care of yourself. But I don't know, how have you been?
I think with me, especially because I'm a senior now, graduation is coming up, doing well in all my classes and then just passing them, and it's just all stressful right now because once you graduate, it's on to the next life.
Yeah.
Another pathway in life. So it's whether going to grad school, whether going into workforce or something like that. It's
a
just
new chapter.
a new chapter. It's something I'm still struggling to figure out on my own, just because I know what I want to do with my life, but it's just where do I start?
I mean, well, honestly, I get where you're coming from with that. Yes, we're at our early 20s at this point, but there's still so much life to live that it's not something that's been around for us all of our lives. We're so used to having this routine of go to school, and stuff like that. All of a sudden, it's we have a choice of not going to school, not getting your master's or whatever, and you could be done and just start working. That's this is foreign to us, and it could be scary mentally because you're thinking in your head, I have to for you right now, you're it's crunch time. I really need to finish these classes. You're stressing about all your classwork, but you're also worried about the future and everything. Oh, I need to find a job. Do I want to continue school? Yada yada yada. And it's intimidating. And a lot of times, I know I'm not 100% sure about you, but a lot of people, they don't have that guidance for that type of thing too, because there's a lot of people who are first generation students too. So their parents, they came to this country seeking a better life for their children, and they didn't attend school or anything. They just started working off muscles. So it's this is new to them, this is new to their families and everything like that. So it's scary, and sometimes for certain people it's too much to handle, and it really affects their mental.
No, yeah, so I do agree with everything you're saying. I think it's also because how college, it's been set out in stone that you finish college within 4 years.
Right.
And every year there's an outline that's you have to take these classes, you have to take these many classes in order to get this many credits to go into next year and stuff like that. There's a standard. There's a standard that's being set on us, and I think because once we hit close to senior time, it's do we have enough? Oh, are we doing enough in order to graduate? Are we meeting the standards of not only the school but our parents too? Because especially coming from my family, I have 2 older brothers, and they've been successful in whatever they're doing, but because like I'm like the last generation in the family, it's kind of like expected, like, oh, I'm gonna do well in school, I'm going to go into grad school, I'm gonna get like a nice stable career just like them.
The bar set high.
Yeah, the bar's set high, and so like when I slip and let's say I don't do well in a class or something like that, it's like I'm a step behind. And that's when like I have to pick up the pace and try to catch up. But when you try to catch up, you're also like not taking the breaks that you need in between. And I think that's when everything becomes like overwhelming.
I completely agree. Like you said, you're the youngest. For me, I'm the youngest as well, but my situation is a little bit different because how I see it, or like for me, I'm the first one out of my siblings to go to a university, like a 4-year university, and pursue my bachelor's. And it's like almost like there's a lot on my shoulders. It's like you never like how I see it is like, oh, my parents are expecting me to do this because like you're, like you said, you're expected to either match or surpass like what's already been done. So it's like, okay, then I have to do this. But on top of that, I have like cousins, like other relatives who are like, all right, they already graduated with bachelor's, do better then. Because I'm the youngest in my entire family. So I'm like, okay, so not only do I have to pursue like a bachelor's, but I also feel like I need to pursue like my master's and everything. Like, of course I want to, but it's just, overwhelming. My phone is ringing. I'm going to ignore that. I'm so sorry. But no, like it's overwhelming, especially being the youngest in my opinion. And we're reaching an age where, all this stuff, it builds up like no matter what year you are in college, like you really start thinking about it. And, this is just one thing that makes college so hard because it's like the workload, the amount of pressure that's put on you, like all eyes on you. You're spending a fortune. You're getting a foot and a leg for an education, which is ridiculous. But like there's other like factors like relationships with your friends, families, significant others. Not that I would know because I don't have a significant other. I'm single. I'm sorry, I'm letting my personal. I'm happy.
You're good.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not saying I'm lonely or anything, but there's so many other factors in life that really just affect your mental health, and I feel like it's so important to make sure that we're constantly taking care of ourselves. And I don't know, for me personally, I'm gonna sound cocky right now, but no, I've been killing it in life, like keeping my mental health in check and everything. Like I've had a rough past and everything like that. Like this is why this topic means so much to me. But I've gone through things. I've lived a life of, I was gonna say suffering, but like suffering is a little bit wicked, but struggles. And so it's like I've come to a point where it's like, no, look at the glass half full. Don't dwell so much on relationships, schoolwork, or whatever it is you're going through, because like today might be a struggle, but tomorrow's gonna be better. So that's how I see life, and that's how I deal with my mental health.
Well, regarding to like just like personal relationships, since you were talking about it in terms of like just family, friends,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a sensitive topic, Trini. Come on.
Anyways, I do agree that when it comes to like personal relationships like this,
you love me too?
Also...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyways, with like personal relationships, like they can take a mental toll on us sometimes. And it's just, in the end, it's how you overcome it. And with relationships, I've definitely like have some of my own rough patches as well, to the point where like I think it's kind of like it's kind of like in the moment when it does, like you run over that obstacle, you're just like, it never hit you before, like you don't know how to handle it. It's just like, it's all just like coming at you, and you're just like, how do I deal with my mental health at this point? Because like, especially if you haven't gone through rough patches like that, it could be very difficult to handle on your own. In which I thought that like during that time, I thought I could handle it myself, but it's actually a lot harder. And so I wasn't really aware of all like the support and all the resources I had around me until I actually took the initiative to ask for help, because like you have your friends, you have your family, like they're there, and I'm sure like regardless of what happened, they would always like be there to lend an ear or like help you in any way. Regardless, like you don't have to go through things alone, especially when you're feeling mentally down. Like I know some, like I used to like bottle things up a lot, which is such a bad thing, because like one of the things I learned pretty recently, which is called this like soda pop technique. So it's kind of like in the scenario of a soda, like when it's still closed and you're like shaking it up, like the carbonation is like gonna blow up when you open it, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like you're the soda bottle, you're bottling all these things up, and once you open up the bottle, you kind of like burst out all the negative emotion, like it's just all coming running out. While like when you open it slowly, by that like you're slowly like letting people know how you are emotionally or mentally, progressively. It's like a lot easier to open the soda bottle in the end, because like you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting those around you. That's something I learned pretty recently.
Yeah, no, completely. Like, you know, you know what? I'd be lying if I said I used to. I still do. I bottle things up like crazy, like right now, and it's really unhealthy. But honestly, you know, like my attention span and everything is terrible. So it's like, oh, I'll bottle up, save it for later, but eventually I'll forget it. Like everyone has their own ways of coping with things, and for me personally, it's just I don't like making my problems other people's problems, and I also don't like showing my cards. I don't like showing my hand, because I don't want anyone to use that as one of my weaknesses, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But yeah, no, I just keep everything to myself, and I try like handling things by myself, or like just let it go away naturally. Like I said, very unhealthy. Like you said, there's plenty of resources. Like if you check AASU's Instagram, I think like 2 lovely individuals just made a little PSA about it. Huh. But anyways, no, there's so many resources that you can go to. Like here on campus, like what do we have? UMBC Center for Wellbeing, like I've never been there. Retriever Integrated Health or something like that.
The UMBC resources we have at the moment is currently located at the Wellbeing Center, which is located near Harbor Hall and I believe Chesapeake, around that area. So some of the sessions they do offer is like single sessions. So it's a one-time type of situation where you need to handle in the moment, or individual therapy where it's like a one-on-one with just a counselor. And I believe it goes for like 6 weeks, depending on how long the situation that you're talking to the counselor about too, but it can go about like max 6 weeks. And there's actually an option for group session therapy or workshops, which is something semesterly offered at UMBC. And some of like the topics they cover is like executive functioning skills, boundaries, moving forward with purpose, skill training in the application of interpersonal regulation. The support groups for international student, neurodivergent, graduate and undergraduate students. Like there's so much that's offered on campus. It's just like a lot of times like we're all kind of like just cooped up thinking like, oh, we don't really need professional help like that. Like we just need ourselves, our friends, like that should be enough. But like sometimes like taking that step and going out to these resources, like I think you not only hear about other people's perspective on what they're going through, but you also get like a very unbiased view on how to handle the situation too.
Wait, time out. We got couples counseling on campus?
Yeah, that is offered. There's a lot there is a lot of resources on campus that is just like we don't know about because we're not actively seeking, or not seeking but searching for it. But it's always available. It's just one step. Like all you gotta do is type in UMBC Retriever Integrated Health. I'm sure you'll find a lot of more information about it on there.
Dog, I've been on this campus for this long, and I didn't know what that building was. I'll be honest.
Now
like,
you know. Now you know.
And now I'm still not gonna use it.
No, you don't. But anyone's welcome to use it, though.
Yeah. For sure. I'm pretty sure like that's what people would be talking about when they say they're going to a doctor on campus. Like,
but yeah, like a lot of things that are like shared within that environment, that space, it's usually kept
in the health center.
In a health center, yeah, it's kept confidential. And I can attest for that because I've actually used one of their UMBC resources before, and it's one of the group sessions. And I gotta say, going into it, I was pretty like hesitant because it's like you're in a room with like a lot of people that you never met before, and you're about to pour
It's like strangers.
It's like other students. It's other students
and you don't
on
know
campus, and I don't know them. Yeah, I don't know them at all. So like, it's very nerve-wracking just because like I'm about to pour my whole like mental health
like
concerns. Share my experience with them like out there, and it's just like, oh, like you wonder how people are gonna like view your stories and stuff like that. But just like coming out of that group session, I gotta say, like I've been taught so many different things that I didn't know about. It's kind of like I guess I could give an example, kind of like when it comes to like stressing out and like having anxiety and all those stuff like that, like your thought channel reacts first. So like you're kind of like, oh my god, I'm gonna fail this exam, something like that, like, or you're basically doubting yourself in your mind, right? And then like with that, it connects to your behavior. So then you would be reacting in a way where like, you're blaming yourself even more. Like you're in this agonizing phase where you just like kept doubting yourself, and it's just like it's not the best phase. But then because you're behaving like that, it also relates back to your actions, and because you're feeling all of that in your agonizing phase, you're gonna end up like oversleeping, overeating, procrastinating even more, and it's just like you're actually letting your thought win over the fact that like you're gonna fail the exam. So that's something like you learn along the way in these sessions, and I think it's like very helpful because like self-aware, it becomes in a way it's like hinder when you're having all of this like negative emotions take over. So I think like being more self-aware about the things that you can do, like turning those negative thoughts into like a more positive thought, it can actually like change your whole perspective on how you feel in the moment too.
I mean, yeah, no, like 100% I agree. Like, you know, everyone, like we've been saying, everyone has their own stuff going on, and you know, some people, it's, you know, like you said, school workload, exams, yada yada yada. But like, you know, there could be so many other external factors and stuff, and that's why I feel it's so important to like speak up about things and like talk to others. Go to the Retriever Integrated Health Center, the Wellbeing Center, whatever it's called. Because like, think about it. There's topics such as like what's really like in the news now. It's like Asian hate crimes, for example. You know, being part of AASU, I feel like we all it's scary. It hits home for some of us because it's like, yo, like all these Asian Americans are getting targeted. All this is going on, and you know, it makes you worry. It makes you anxious, and some people more than others. Like everyone has their own source of like mental health issues or obstacles they may face, and you know, everything varies from person to person, and like how I said earlier, like how they deal with it and everything. But you know, like with school stuff, you can talk with, you know, advisors, the health center, professors, whatever. But like a lot of times, at least like for me, when I first started seeing this Asian hate crime stuff going around the news, it was kind of like, well, who exactly do I talk to about that? Like, if it was affecting me personally, or let's say a friend of mine was like going through something, like, how would I want to address that? You know? But yeah, there's a lot going on, and everyone has their own ways of dealing with like certain topics, like school, external things, relationships, yada yada yada. Like for me, like personally, I've gone through many things, and there's been many things that supposedly affect my mental health, but I don't think anyone has seen me not smiling. But for certain things like schoolwork, family relationships, or like things in the news, like I handle each situation differently, and I require different resources for said things.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, how much time do you got?
Plenty of time, like whatever makes you feel comfortable, because like I do believe that
Right.
a lot of people are probably experiencing similar things in a way, and I'm pretty sure they would also want to know, how do you handle those situations, like just to share your experience and just what you took from it.
Okay, well, okay. Relationship advice with Henry. Listen closely. If you want to end up like me, then absolutely, like, all ears. So, in my life, I've been in one relationship. Surprising, right?
Totally. I want to hear it from you.
No, but that relationship, it was great. It was great. Like, would y'all believe me if I told you guys it was unofficially going on for 10 plus years?
What?
It started in 8th grade and went all the way till last year, junior year of UMBC here.
Gotcha.
Rein's behind this camera. I'm not talking to him.
I'm about to call it tea time with Henry.
But no, like, it was, we didn't officially make it a relationship until the end of high school. So officially it went on for like 2 years and some months, and it was amazing. Like, this individual, she was great. Like, I clicked with her. She was understanding, she was smart, everything like that. But the thing is, like, it just played out really poorly. Like, almost like right person, wrong time. Right person, wrong time, yeah. We're busy, our schedules, we're doing distance for like all of the relationship practically. But we were both busy with school and everything. Like, it was start of college for us, and she's super smart. But because of like our conflicting schedules and doing distance and a couple other things, like develop like different desires and wants in a relationship, etc. We had to end things. But the hardest part of that for me was we both still had feelings for one another. Like, that never went away, but we still had to end things. So put the problems aside, all the relationship, like feelings, emotions, and everything, that was all still there, but you were forced to end it. Well, not forced, but obviously, like, there's a right thing to do and a wrong thing to do. And obviously, yeah, I have a handful of regrets going back to that. But how I dealt with it, like, you can ask my roommate and everything. Like, I was laying face down on my bed like 24/7 and be like, oh, you want to go to the gym? You want to go eat? I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Sad boy hour.
It was literally sad boy hour. I was like face planted out to my bed, and like I wasn't even sleeping. I was just like laying there. But it was rough, and for me, like, I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I didn't want to do anything. But how I eventually overcame it was I opened up to my roommate, and my roommate, Fee, that's my brother right there, like, best friend. Like, I finally like mustered up some like courage to like open up, talk about it. And like I said earlier, like, I don't like opening up about things. I don't like telling anyone about anything. but I kind of was like, okay, I'm in a more calm state of mind. I can try talking to him. And I talked to him, and, you know, everyone has a different perspective from you, or it could be the same, but people have different perspectives, and he gave me a whole different perspective to things, and it helped me so much get over it. And, you know, like, I thought, like, I was falling towards rock bottom, but it was, like, just knowing that literally all it took was, like, yo, can I talk to you for a quick second about this? Like, literally, like, that's, like, less than 10 words. And instantly, my perspective changed. My mental changed. Like, it prevented me from crashing because someone was there. And I was able to talk with someone. And, you know, all the stuff that was in my head constantly being built up, like your little soda can.
Soda bottle?
Your soda bottle. Who drinks soda out of a bottle? Soda can.
Okay, soda can.
Okay.
That works too.
But no, like, it was like that. Like, it was constant, like, building up and up and up and, like, nowhere to go. And with, you know, with it all building up, you know, like, it's constantly in your head. You can see it differently, and it could start manipulating how you see other things. But letting it all out was kind of like, okay, I can see things with, like, a clear state of mind, clear vision. Like, it's no longer a tunnel vision, you know, panoramic vision, like, you know, full 360.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like, that was just an example. Like, relationships, you know, we all struggle, but all it took for me was reaching out to a close friend, and I was able to recover. I was able to prevent something that could have been so much worse. Then, like, yeah, everything's different. Like, I wouldn't, if I was going through, like, something like family issues, that type of stuff I keep to myself so much more, because it's really personal for me, and I would approach it differently. Like, if I had family issues, you would not catch me laying there face down on my bed or anything. Like, it's more severe, in my opinion, if something really bad was going on with my family. And that's something where it's like, no, I'm going to take initiative. I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to reach out to, like, people I need to.
I agree. Like, when it comes to, like, friendship and, like, relationships, I think communication is such a big key. All it takes is to really reach out to someone, to check up on them, to see how they feel, because, like how you said, like, you're always smiling, right? But, like, deep down, we don't know if you're feeling upset or angry or anything, like, because we can't read your mind. We the only thing that we can do to really understand you more is to reach out. And I think that's something that I've also learned a lot this year, especially, like, I can always doubt myself and be like, oh, I don't think I'm that good of a friend. Like, oh, I think I could be, like, doing so much more to, like, help out my friend. Like, that's all in your mind. I think if you talk it out with them, saying kind of like, oh, this is what's on your mind. Like, when this happened, I feel this because of whatever situation. Kind of like that. Like, just stating it out to your friends. Like, it also helped them, like, understand, like, oh, if this is how you're feeling, then, like, what can I do to, like, assist you in this? Like, because, yeah, it's just such, like, a big thing, like, reaching out and just being there for your friends, or, like, being there for your partner, because everyone needs a support group. Because, like, it sounds like, oh yeah, anyone can have a support group, but I feel like having I guess you say, like, a support system, it's like
a coping mechanism.
Yeah, in a way it's like a coping mechanism. Like, you're not dealing with on your own, like, you're dealing it with, like, a friend beside you. Lending a shoulder in a way. And I guess, like, in terms of, like, talking about it with, like, family, it's especially with mental health, because, like, things like in our Asian culture, there's a stereotype about mental health. Like, not a lot of people believe in mental health, or, like, the mental health services that are, like, being available to us in America or something like that.
It's different from how they grew up.
It's different because our generation versus their generation, they see it as just like, what's in the moment, you'll get over it, like it's fine.
Be
like,
a doctor,
it's just,
be a lawyer, fix everything.
like, and then there's this whole thing about like boys can't cry because you'll look weak because of that. Like there's all these like stereotypes that like actually affect our mental health, and so it could be nerve-wracking to share with our family. Take that as a pause, okay?
I'll edit that to be something funny. Who knows?
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, so like sharing with family members can definitely be difficult because you're always going to be worried about like, will they understand me? Will they be able to support me even if like I'm going through this rough patch?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think in the end, like family is still one of your support system in a way. And whenever you feel comfortable, whenever you feel ready to share, it's okay to share with your family. Like, regardless of like anything, like, they'll still be there for you. Even if it could be rough sometimes. Like, there were some disagreements for myself too, but like, all it takes is patience.
Boys cry sometimes.
It's okay. You can cry and scream if you need to.
No, it's not good. I got Rein over there. I got Rein Oppa sending me hearts.
Oh.
Saranghae Oppa.
Oh, this got real cringy.
This is our first podcast. I think a lot of it has been cringy, but
You're right. You've been pretty cringy.
Me?
Yeah.
I've been all natural. I belong behind the camera.
Bad.
See this? Belong behind the camera. Oh my God, let me stop being cocky. She's not wrong, but that doesn't mean don't hit me up.
His name is Henry Lai.
Rein about to drop my. You got me.
I got you.
I mean, yeah. I was fortunate enough. The household I grew up in was honestly, in my eyes, like super different from your typical Asian households. Like, bro, my dad has a Goku tattoo right here. He's covered in both my mom and dad have a bunch of tattoos. My dad had a bunch of piercings and everything. Like, they're not your typical Asian family. Like, my mom, I literally called my mom like 2 weeks ago out of the cut, and I was just like, yo, you want to get matching tattoos? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, what? But like, no.
Did you get it yet?
No. Because she was like, give me a design and let's go. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that. But no, I was really fortunate to like grow up in a household that was super different. And I remember so clearly, I was about to go to work and my mom was like, yo, make sure you eat, talking to me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like in my own world. I was in my own bubble. And she was like, what's up with you? And then I was like, I just like look at her. Like, it was like it was like, and then she was like, what? And then, bro, like tears started falling. And then she was like, huh? And then I was like, me and my girlfriend broke up. And then she gave me a hug and she was like, it's okay. She was like, don't cry. And she was like, oh, you'll find, like, it's okay. Like, you know, everything happens for a reason. Like, you'll be fine and stuff like that. You know, you'll find someone else, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, she started making me feel like a coward.
There are plenty of fishes in the sea.
Okay, but I don't have a fishing rod.
Well,
yeah,
I ain't gonna say it.
Better luck next time.
I ain't gonna say it.
You ain't gonna say it?
I ain't gonna say
Hey,
it.
Rein got something he wanna say. No, but she was telling me, she was like, oh, like, you don't need a woman anyways. You have your mom. And I was like, I started laughing. I was like, all right, I'm done crying now. I was like, I'm not gonna stay in your like basement all my life. This is really gonna be the life I want to live. I love my mom though.
But now you know, like, you can definitely rely on your mom with everything.
Absolutely, I love my mom.
Yeah.
I love my mama. Like, absolutely, I love my mama. I mess with her a lot. Like, I could call her right now, and you guys would hear the way I talk to her.
Do it.
No way. He's actually doing it. That's crazy.
She about to yell at me for something, I guarantee. Last time I called her, she was like, oh, you finally want to call me?
Oh my god.
Put on speaker.
Yeah, I'm putting on speaker. For any of my Cantonese speakers out there, y'all understand this.
Oh my god.
Hello.
What's good, mama?
Hi.
What's up? I'm just calling to say hi.
Huh? That's it?
My bad. Like, do you want to hear something else? I got a girl pregnant.
Yeah, right.
See, she even knows that I'm sick. No, I'm just calling to say hi. It's for a school project. Sure.
Oh.
I just wanted to say I miss you and I love you.
Yeah, right. Every time you call me, it must be something. You
See?
call me.
What I'm
You
telling.
never call me like, oh, mommy, I miss you, and then call you.
I just said I missed you. That's why I called.
Oh, just this time. Oh, that's why I'm so surprised, you know?
Okay, that's cap. She's lying. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my schoolwork, but I miss you.
Mommy love you too.
I love you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh,
That was so cute.
My mom. I
So
told you guys. Literally, that's how she talks to me. But no, like, that's the environment I grew up in. Honestly, like, sometimes I feel like my brother was the hardest on me. Not even my parents. Like, my brother a dickhead, but he's different.
I'm gonna censor that.
Censor it, censor it.
No, I'm so sorry. But no, my brother, he called it tough love. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Mhm.
But no, yeah, that's my family in a nutshell. That's how I dealt with things. I was not exposed to the whole tiger parenting thing. Like, be a doctor, be a lawyer. It just so happens that I am being a doctor, so my mom lucked out.
No, yeah, I think with my family, it's kind of similar in a way where I was lucky enough to be born into a family where like my parents are not very like, I guess like strict with what I should do with my future. All they told me was like they want me to be happy, and I think that's like a big thing that I want to succeed in terms of like finding a stable life, being happy, and like making my parents happy. But another thing was like I have like my oldest brother. He's kind of like my third parent, and in a way, he could be overprotective, which I love and I appreciate because I know he's doing it all because he cares about me. But sometimes like it can also be a little overwhelming with the pressure that's being set on me by my brother, which is I feel like something like all of us can relate to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is definitely something that I should probably work on myself, like build a better relationship dynamic with my brothers. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, I completely agree. When it comes to cause you're the youngest, right? Yeah, no, like when it comes to my siblings, like I said, my brother, tough love. Tough love. No, I love my brother and my sister to death, like, cause how I see siblings is kind of like, yes, like you have your parents and everything, but you really experience everything in your life with your siblings. You grew up together, you guys were raised together. So like no matter what kind of tough love he showed me, like end of the day, that's my blood brother, and like I will always be grateful to have him and my sister around.
For sure.
Like they taught me so much, and you know, if you're watching this, Coco, Flo, mainly Flo, I'll still kick your ass. You can sense it. No, but honestly, you know what, Trini? I'm gonna be honest. I high-key gotta take a poo right now. Like,
Oh God.
it's. I don't want to cut this short because we're having good conversations and everything.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You know, like Turtle's peeking its head out.
It's urgent. Nature's calling you.
Nature is calling.
You better
Nature's
get
screaming.
going.
Nature's
Yeah,
screaming,
you better
bro.
get going then. It's nice having you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that wraps it up.
All right. That's it, guys. Thank you for tuning into our ASU first podcast of the semester, and he's still here. Anyways,
I haven't left yet.
I gotta say, before we end this, I love my brothers too, and I love my family. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. Bye. What the?
Deuces.